Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. I'm coming on here today to share with you my experience. I posted on my Instagram yesterday that I was on my way to apply for a Schengen visa. As some of you might already know that I've got a South African passport, so I cannot travel outside of the UK without a Schengen visa. So I had gone to apply for one yesterday, and I said that I would be sharing the experience with those who are interested. I did get a couple of responses as well as questions, about the process and what's required and so forth. So now I'm going to be sharing with you how the experience was for me and how I went about it. I will also be sharing with you the links to the various areas that you need to actually apply for. So for instance, a lot of the countries in the Schengen states use agents to actually do the outsource that service to agents like TLS as well as VFS. So depending on where you're applying for, you would probably have to access a link, for that particular center. I strongly discourage you to actually pay for this service, via another agent, other than those two that I've actually mentioned, because that would obviously mean that you'd pay more than, that's required. So those two agents are mostly the ones that are used for those Schengen countries. So for the benefit of this video, I used VHS because the country VFS because the country that I'm actually going into or applying for is one of those listed countries. So this would be like Czech Republic, it would be Greece, it would be Portugal, Malta, I think even South Africa as well, Canada, among other countries. But there's a long list, of countries that whose application you'd need to do from that website. So what I did was that I accessed the website, right? I googled, Google is your friend. I googled visa application in the UK for Greece, for instance. That's what I did, and then it took me to that link. And then I accessed that link, and then I found more information as to, okay, what are the visa processing times? What is the application form? So what you'll need to do is that once you get on the VFS website, for instance, let's say we're going to Portugal, right? For the benefit of this video, let's say I'm going to Portugal. Yes. So I Googled, okay, fine, visa application in the UK for Portugal. And then it took me to the VFS website. Right there, I had to then download the application form. And then also, prior to downloading the application form, I had to then decide which visa I was applying for. So obviously, if you are going there for tourism purposes, you are going to apply for a tourism visa. If you're going for a short stay, say for instance you're going to visit family there and you know someone, you would apply for a short stay visa. And then obviously if you're going for business, you'll apply for business. But anyway, for the benefit of this video, we're going to be talking about a tourist visa, right? So then I clicked on the tourism visa, and then it showed me, okay, fine, what I would need. And then also that I need to download the application form. I downloaded the application form and I printed it out. And then the next step was to then get an appointment date. And that is the most crucial step. You can get an appointment date. In fact, you can decide to do this whole process of application 3 months before you travel. I suggest that you actually look into that. So if you are trying to maybe travel in the next 2 weeks, that is too short notice, because the visa processing time is actually 3 weeks. So I then went and looked up obviously the appointment date, and I got my appointment date. And because now we're in August, I think August is a very busy time. July, August is a very busy time for them because obviously it's summer holidays. So they're quite inundated with a lot of requests. So allow for that processing time, which could be up to 3 weeks, which is about approximately 15 business days. So I selected the appointment date. And the appointment date is the date at which I would then physically go to the appointment center, the VFS center, to submit my documentation together with my application form, and also then pay the required amount. So prior to the appointment date, then I had to obviously gather the required information, which is as follows. So you get the application form obviously from the website, and then you will need a couple of documents. You'll obviously need your passport, and obviously if you are residing here in the United Kingdom, you do have a resident permit card. You would also need that as well. And then you would need to have booked your flights already. So you'd need a printout of the proof of flights, that yes, you're flying from this date to whatever date. And then what you'll need is also proof of your accommodation. So they want to see where you're going to be staying, and obviously that you're not going to be a problem to the country. And then they will also need proof of travel insurance. You will need travel insurance if you're going outside of the UK, because that is mandatory. I think if you're traveling anywhere across the world, you do need travel insurance. Obviously, there's things like COVID and blah, blah, that happened and so forth. But anyway, let me not dwell too much on that. So, if you're a student and you're applying as a student, you would need to show that, okay, fine, yes, you're a student. You do have funds that are able to sustain you for the duration of your stay. I think it's about 40 euros a day or so, which would be probably £50. It could be less, really. I'm not too sure about that. But anyway, if you are employed, you would also need to then show that, okay, yes, you do have some money in your account. And how do you prove that? You need 3 months bank statements. And then you also need to show that you've got proof of employment. How do you prove that? You need to supply them with a letter of employment from your employer, confirming that, yes, you're employed in this company, and yes, you're going on holiday and so forth for that duration. Otherwise, if you don't want to produce the letter of employment, you can also give them 3 months payslips, from your work. And then the other thing that they'll need also is that I've mentioned the bank statements. The most important thing that you also need now that is not on the website is the COVID pass. So this is evidence that you have had, you are vaccinated and you've had the 2 jabs. And this you will get from the NHS website. I did mine yesterday, so it takes a couple of, they say that it can take 24 hours. So I suggest you do it maybe a day or 2 before. In fact, even if it's a week earlier, it's fine. And then what happens is that once you access the NHS website, NHS app, you need to prove that, okay, this is definitely you who's applying for this. So you can upload something like your driver's license, to show that, okay, yes, that is definitely you. And then once they see that and then they verify that, okay, it is indeed you, then they will send you that, you'll be able to download that copy of your COVID pass that then shows that, okay, you have had the vaccine, twice, and that's fine. So you don't download that document and then you print it out. So the day of the appointment, right? You need to, I would suggest that if you're going to have an appointment date, right, and a time, you need to choose a time like as early as possible in the morning, because you don't want to get there and then there's documents that are missing, or maybe there's issues maybe with I don't know what, and then you have very little time to rectify the mistakes. So for instance, I didn't have a printout of my COVID pass, and I had to obviously go nearby somewhere to print it out. So my appointment was at 9:15. I had plenty of time to do that, so I suggest that you book an earlier appointment so that it gives you enough time to sort out any hassles if any appear. Then yes, so on the appointment date, you're going to need to be on time, get there on time, and I think they open from, the first appointment is 8:30. And then what you're going to need to do is that you need to have printed out your proof of what is it, your appointment letter. So the security guard, when you get there, or the person on guard or person at reception, will want to see your appointment letter when you get there, that yes, you do have an appointment for that particular day. And you cannot bring a +1 if they're not coming for the same purpose. You get there and then they will allocate you a ticket which will have the number, and then your number will be called out once you actually get to the area where the visa processing happens. And then they're going to call your name, and then you need to gather your documents in the order that is that is presented. It will be there on the website, as well as also on the wall as well. It will be shown that, okay, when your turn comes, please make sure that your documents are in an orderly format and so forth. So best to make sure that before your appointment date, you make sure that all the documents are there, guys. I had to pay so much today because I was missing my COVID pass, and then I had to change my flight details as well as accommodation. So that meant that I needed to print more documents. And there's a printing shop like not too far away from that place. I think that person charges like £1 per print, per page. I paid like £16. I'm still reeling from that. Really, really upset. But anyway, such is life. You're not organized, you'll have to pay for it, in other ways. So take it from me, make sure all your documents that are required are there, and I'm giving you all this information so that you don't have to have any hassles. So yes, your time will come, and then the person will then go through obviously your documents, and they will also then tell you and give you advice as well as to, okay, if you've maybe booked your flights too close, like within less than 3 weeks, the embassy rejects those documents, so it's not even gonna go through at all. So instead of having to waste your time, make sure that from the day that your appointment is, you still have 3 weeks. You allow 3 weeks for the processing to actually happen. Last year was different for me because I applied like a week before I traveled, and my passport came back within like a week. So things have changed now. I don't know if that's because of COVID or maybe because of Brexit or whatever, but their processing times are actually longer now, and you don't want to have any problems. And then the cost, guys, it's not cheap. So it is £120 to process. I mean, the last time I checked, and even on the website, it was £68. And then the processing fee from VFS was £25. Then today when I got there, they told me it was £120 because they are no longer allowing people to come to collect the passport. So after the visa is processed, you'd normally like go and collect it. They are no longer allowing that. What they are doing instead is that they courier it back to you. So I think the 120 includes that courier fee. I don't know, but yeah, it was a shock. I'd budgeted for like 80 something pounds, and then now I had to like pay like that extra 40, someone 30 odd. So yeah, guys, going on holiday is a big cost nowadays. And then also on top of that, you have to also think of the fact that you'll need to pay for COVID tests, prior to going, and obviously when you return. But I think those are not so exorbitant as they used to be. I think they are probably like 45 or so or less. But anyway, that is all that you're going to need. I'm going to answer some of your questions that you sent through, and that will be it. I tried to make it this video as short as possible, but this is all the information that that I thought might be necessary, and this is what I've also had to do to apply. I hope you find this helpful. Let me know if you've got any questions down below. I'm going to answer the questions shortly. Okay, so let's read your questions. Some of them I've answered already. So I'll just answer these ones. So I've got a question here. It says, which health insurer did you use for your application? So I used Barclays. Barclays have a travel pack on the app. It's £12.50. I've used this insurance for since I think 2019, and it covers you on travels outside of the UK. When you travel, you can just request, obviously, that they send you maybe the policy document. You can do it online. And yeah, that's it. You don't really need to tell them all the time when you're traveling, unless if you need to provide evidence, you know, maybe to the visa center that, okay, you're traveling. But I mean, when I went to South Africa, last year, I didn't need to contact them and I was still covered. So it's £12.50 and it's on the Barclays app. Okay, next question. Do you need to provide proof of accommodation for where you're going? Yeah. You need to provide proof of accommodation. And just to add on that, I had not paid for the accommodation as yet. So I went on booking.com, got a code, you know, you can book and then cancel for free. So that's what I did. And then I will obviously then cancel it and then find alternative accommodation that I really like. You know, once I get my visa approved. But your flights, you need to have booked them and paid for them already. But yeah, for your accommodation, they obviously want an itinerary with your name on the booking that, okay, yes, that is definitely you going. And obviously, if you're visiting someone in that country, you also need a letter from them that, yes, you're coming to visit them. Next question, do you have to get a different one for like Spain and another one for France? No, yes, that's a very good question. So the Schengen area covers like several countries outside, well, in the European Union. UK was part of the European Union, but it's no longer part of it. And then Switzerland is not part of the EU. So if you're going to, let's say, for instance, as you've asked, if you're going to Spain and then you get the Schengen visa for Spain, it allows you to still go to France. If you're going to France, maybe at the same time as your Spain trip, you need to also, I think, disclose it on the form that you will need multiple entries, which means that you will be going to more than one Schengen state. So they would need to then give you a visa that accommodates that request. However, if, let's say, for instance, now I go to Portugal and then in October, I feel like, okay, I want to go to Paris in France, I don't need to apply for another visa because they would probably have given me maybe 6 months. And, you know, if I'm traveling within that 6 months that I still have the Schengen visa, I don't need to apply for it again. However, if they've given me 3 months and and then my 3 months expires in November and I want to go in December, it means that I need to apply for another Schengen visa. You know what? It's such a lot of admin. Next question, how long does the visa last for once you have it and access is not to all countries in Schengen area? So the visa, it depends. So for my Greek visa last year, I was given 6 months. I'm not sure how much they'll give me this time around. I hope they do give me also 6 months because I mean, for £120, honestly, it needs to stretch. You know, it can't be for just 3 months. Apparently, they can even give you that visa for that week or whatever, that duration that you're actually going for. So it's not really guaranteed. But I think there's an option to apply for a longer Schengen visa for, I think, 2 years or 5 years. And obviously, that's more money. And then can you use the same visa to travel to the other Schengen countries? Yes, you can do that. How did yours go? Well, I guess we are going to find out how it went. Yeah, I had, I think I did mention that I had some document, well, I had the COVID pass that I had to print out, and then I had to change my flight dates, and then I had to also then change, obviously, my accommodation. So that meant that I had to obviously go to the, what is it, printing shop to print again, and to amend. I had to amend the date and then come back and then resubmit. So now I'm just waiting for the visa to be processed, and then I guess we'll see how it goes. But holding thumbs and wishing for the best. Okay, so this other question, I've answered these questions, but yeah, if at all I've not covered maybe something that you wanted to ask, you can DM me on my Instagram. It's Huri Ndlovu. I'll also link it down below. Otherwise, you can comment as well below, and then I will take it from there. But thank you so much for watching. I hope this encourages you to book that trip that you are looking to book, because you know what, we cannot wait for better times, or maybe when COVID is gone. We might as well just learn to live with it. And if there's a way, if you can do it, if you can afford to travel, I think you should just go ahead and do it. It's worth it. It's good for you. If it makes you happy, then why not? So anyway, I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.